Welcome back, everyone, for the second Actimer podcast ever.
Number two.
Today is May 1st, 2019. Mark, how you doing today?
I'm feeling pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good to hear.
So today, we got to see the Valve headsets, the new VR headsets. This is interesting because you actually have a VR headset for computers.
Yes.
Do you use it? Tell me.
I do, but not as much as I thought I would have when I first bought it. I used it a lot in the first month and a half, but I will say that the VR, what is that? The fun of VR, being specifically VR, is starting to wear off a little bit. The games just aren't as deep as regular games, right? Like, they're not as long, they're not as story-driven. Like, a lot of them, they're experiences. They feel like arcade games, almost. So it's nice to play with friends. They're fun to play with, like, a group of people when you have people over and stuff. But there's not as much right now that hooks you in as a single player. And, like, I just want to spend hours playing a game. I want to experience a story yet.
Wasn't Borderlands going to be then for the VR?
Yeah, I have heard that. I've heard it's they're working. I don't know if they're working on it or if it's already out. I can't even remember what it was. Right. But it looked really strange.
Would it, like, toned down? Because that
not
would be
toned
part of the
down.
single
It was
player,
just.
right?
I think the way the problem with VR still is moving around in like an open world. Okay. For most people, there's still an element of motion sickness that comes with it.
Right.
With a lot of the ways that you can't just take the way you move in a video game and transfer it to VR. It doesn't work anymore. For most people, I will find that I'm pretty okay with it. I've gotten used to it, so I don't get as motion sick kind of thing. Okay. But I think it's locomotion, they call it, like full locomotion movement, where you can move around normally. Throws you off because your inner ear doesn't match up with you moving, so you get dizzy and uncoordinated. So it'd be interesting to see if they can fix anything with that, but I don't know if that's really what Valve was even going for with their headset. I think they're just going for the most powerful headset you can get. Like, Oculus is powerful, and it still needs a powerful computer. But I think this is trying to go for, like, ultra high-end gamers that want to play even VR games on, like, Supermax.
Yes and no. So the two VRs that they were discussing about bringing out, or what they have in the pipeline coming out, right? You have the one that's like, the higher-end quality one.
I think it's like the Index or something, isn't it?
Yeah. And then you would have, I'm pretty sure, and then you'd have the other one, though, that is the Quest. And that's the one that piqued my interest, because the Quest
No, you're talking about Oculus. I'm talking about the Valve. Quest is Oculus.
Yes.
Yeah. Quest is the cable-less Oculus Rift.
That's the one I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. Because that, to me, is the one that I'm looking more forward to, because for the simple fact that you don't need a high-end computer.
You don't?
Or any computer at all.
No, you don't. I think this is going to be a good step. I don't know if I would necessarily say this is something you want to jump into right away, because I think from what I've read is the way they do tracking, because you don't have your sensors track your camera. Right. They're in the headset. It's inside-out tracking. It's tracking, I think, on the front of the headset, there are cameras pointing out. So the problem is, whenever your hands are not in the view of your headset, you no longer have arm tracking.
But I think that's because it's because, the hand trackers, they're in front of you, as you normally would.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, if you're playing a shooter or something, and you want to do something cool where, like, you're shooting a guy off to the side, you have to be almost looking at your hand so that the camera is picking it up. Or you're going to get to a point where if I want to shoot a guy over here, I have to be looking, or my hand, if I go here, will stop. Like, once I get to a certain point in my peripheral vision, it'll stop tracking it because it's off the camera.
Oh, I see.
That's the only problem.
So there'd just be more head movement, is what you're saying.
Yeah, you have to follow your hands for perfect, which really isn't that big of an issue, because most games you are doing that. It's more so for the quick stuff. Like, if you're doing a game, any like sword fighting game where you're not necessarily always have to look at your hand. Like a shooter, you're going to be pointing, right? Like I'm pointing and aiming. But a boxing game or a sword fighting game where I want to try and be cool and like swing behind me and kill a guy, can't do that unless I'm watching it happen. That's my only worry with the Quest. I think it's a great intro for people. I think this is a great way to get people into that would not have wanted to spend the money on a really expensive computer and everything. But I think you will see limitations as a more of a hardcore gamer.
All right.
I think
that's
so.
Not bad. I mean, me, I love the VR. I love the VR technology. I have a PlayStation VR.
I think it's so much fun. I think
great.
it is a really fun experience, but we're not at AAA video games yet. I think there's one or two full length like video game experiences like you would see when you sit on your couch with a controller and I want to get into a story. They're more like the Super Hots and Beat Sabers, and where it's a cool concept and a cool experience, but it's an hour long.
But I mean, you got the new Star Wars, Vader Immortal game coming out, right?
For VR?
Yeah.
I don't know that. What is
Really?
this? What is
How have you not heard
I
about
don't
this?
know this. This sounds incredible already.
Yeah,
So what is this?
It's literally like, I'm pretty sure it's the story and you just go through as Darth Vader.
Okay.
Right? But it's an actual like TV show type progression. So it's like they come out in episodes while you're going through this, right? And
that could be cool.
This is one of the games that's going to be part of the Quest.
Yeah.
Right? And it works because of what you just said, the sword type thing, it's in your hand, right? Like you're not going to be shooting people left and right behind you. Your lightsaber's going to be in the front.
Yeah.
Right? So it works. You're definitely right.
But really, how many times have you seen in movies and stuff in Star Wars where they'll do the big like swing the lightsaber over their head and like they'll end in that pose where they're sort of like crouching or something and your hands behind your back. The lightsaber, the thing is gonna get stuck to the side of your vision, right? When you lose tracking in VR. You know how it kind of just like it starts glitching? You're going to get that anytime you try to do something cool. Things are just going to start like wiggling all around. It's going to be impossible.
Do you think the sensor is going to pick up saying like you have to put the controller back in front of your face?
Probably. You'll probably get a lost tracking, like or there'll be a little
flip
symbol or something or a little light that comes on to say you're losing tracking quality.
Because you're right. As long as as long as it's like a tiny blip that comes up and says tracking is not being
it's not optimal.
Tracked,
yeah,
right?
like you're losing optimal tracking.
Yeah, then I'm okay with it. But if it like, you like you said, you put your arm behind you and then a giant thing comes up saying controller must be in front of you.
Yeah.
That's going to be very
one of those, like an arcade game where it's showing you like how to reset something.
Yeah.
And it'll be like a picture of a lightsaber, like bring it back to your face. Bring it back to your face. Until like the game will pause.
Yeah.
Just, please return to your face. Please return to your face. That is my only worry with the Oculus.
All right. Well, okay. Well, then in your opinion though, is it worth it $549 Canadian?
$549 for the Quest?
I think. Oh wait, no, sorry.
Oh, the Quest was $399.
It's $549 for the 64 gigabyte model, and it's $699 for the 128 gigabyte model. Is it worth it? He's pondering. He's thinking.
If you don't have a computer, yes.
Okay.
If you don't, a compatible computer. They have all those like Oculus Rift compatibility checkers.
Yeah.
If you were to do that on your computer, and it says you need to update your computer.
Yeah.
Or it just plain doesn't work. Because a lot of computers just can't handle it. Or if it's on the very base and you're going to have to put $700 into a new graphics card or something, then I would go with that. Unless you're a hardcore gamer. If you're a hardcore gamer, I would go with the computer.
But what about this though? Like, think of all the opportunities you can now have with the Quest. You could take it to a friend's party, and then you don't have to set anything up. It's literally already set up. You buy a nice little carrying case, which is probably going to cost you probably $150 because it has to protect this thing.
I have already seen it. Like where I work, there was an event that somebody did where they brought in these guys with Oculus Quests.
Oh, there you go.
And a little like fake roller coaster seat. And you sat in the roller coaster, and it moved so they made a roller coaster VR like thing that they could bring to parties. So and it was the Oculus Quest. It was just pop it on, and you can look around. So it makes sense.
Right?
It is something that is going to be viable, and I think you'll see a lot more of those VR arcades and stuff open up.
Oh, that'd be sweet.
Because you don't have to have a super powerful computer. Like they don't have to buy 15 $3,000 computers to run the place. You can just buy 15 Oculus Quests, and you have a VR.
That's a very good question. Is this then like the new arcade?
Yeah, like we've already seen it. I've got one near my house.
The Cineplex, the Scotiabank Cineplex.
Scotiabank has one.
They have like that whole bottom area is now all. But
that
they're expensive though.
They're expensive, and that one's really like catered VR experiences.
Yeah,
like they have little
booths
that are basically set up to play one specific game.
Yeah, that's right.
Which I mean, a lot of arcades probably would become, but
because I think for something like this, it would be more of a. You pay like $50 and you play for an hour.
Yeah, I mean, I know Toronto has a bunch of them, but there's, like I said, there's one right by my place called Game Time. I want to say Game Time.
Nice.
And they have these pods that you rent out. You rent them out for an hour, and it's got a vast arcade or a library of our VR games, and you get this pod where you can just play anything. Right. You get a couple of different controllers and stuff like that. I think you can pair up and have like your buddy next to you so you can play VR games. Or cool. VR multiplayer games, I should say. So that is definitely, I can see this becoming the new, or overtaking a lot of arcades. I can see that. Because you already had that. Remember, like, we've had that for probably 20 years now. Some form of, they've always been crappy. But you go to an arcade that has any kind of money in it, they're going to have some form of, you're going into the simulator ride, and it's maybe you're not doing VR, but it's the moving, and this is just the next logical step for that.
Well, this reminds me of...
And it seems like it's probably cheaper. Like a lot of those ones where it was... I remember Palladium probably 5 or 10 years ago had that one that was like... It had hydraulics where it was... I think you did flips and stuff. Like you were tied in. But think of how expensive that one machine probably was. You could probably buy a couple of Oculus Quests for that much money. And have basically the same experience.
Well, I mean, that's just how technology works, right? Over a couple of years.
True, everything gets smaller and easier.
Gets cheaper, and they're able to then compact it.
It's true.
But that's the thing. This reminds me, though, of like Ready Player One. You know, the video game where it's like, I feel like this is going to eventually take over consoles in a way, right? Where it's like, you could literally just, I'm going to go to my mom's house for, let's say, Easter or Christmas. I hate taking my console there, right? Because obviously you spend time with the family.
You just have to bring your headset.
All you can now do is find a nice little like 5x5 room. Like, and that's the thing. When I was reading into the Quest, it says like, you know, it works around your parameters because you don't need those towers.
Yeah, you
like
don't need
before.
you don't need any kind of camera to track you. You're tracking through the headset.
Yeah, so it becomes one of those like, awesome, I can now do it in the comfort of my own home. And I don't need to be a millionaire and have a room specific for VR.
Yeah, right? Totally. And I think, jumping around a little bit, what Valve is doing with theirs is they have cameras on theirs. It's still a PC-based thing, but they have cameras on theirs to allow for pass-through video. Which means I still can see my surroundings if I need to.
Oh, that's cool.
Without taking off my headset.
Oh, that's cool.
So you can switch over, like if I'm... am I getting close to the wall? You can hit toggle, and you're just going to get a video of what you're actually, your outside world.
That's very cool.
So that'll help for that kind of stuff. I'm sure there'll be a merging of that one day. Yeah. I can be out in public. I can be out in a park somewhere and being able to play and then go, am I close to like a picnic or something?
A child?
Yeah, am I going to kick a child?
Oh,
no, okay, the kids are gone. Okay, we're good. Keep playing. Like, I think that will become... a thing. I know it seems very science fiction-y, but
no, absolutely
when you really look at all these little technologies that are starting to come forward, you just extrapolate.
Well, that was like the stupid scene from, I hated this scene in Ready Player One, was when they had the goggles on,
and then people were
in the streets,
and they're doing like flipping kicks and stuff. How are you not kicking people in the face? I get that the point is that everybody in the world is playing this game, so there wouldn't be just a regular bystander walking down the street. They're playing the game too.
This isn't
but
AR.
It just seems so ridiculous.
But it's not AR. Like in Sword Art Online, the movie, when they had the AR technology, they kind of like said like, this is where you're going to be playing. When you have your AR on, what you see around you will be in the game.
Yeah.
So if you walk up to a wall, it's a real wall.
Exactly.
Right?
So the guy's running with the halo. It was like, you're running down, like, how do you know you're not running into a street and getting hit by a car?
Yeah, exactly.
Or getting hit by a car or something. It was like, what are you, what?
Okay, I get it.
But it's that idea of, hey, maybe those versions have passed through so they can see what they're running around through.
At all times.
But it's like, I don't... That's my only worry. But yeah, I can see that being a logical future step. Right. To allow this kind of stuff to be... We're basically wearing computers on our faces at this point.
And, well, I mean, we have computers in our pockets already as it is.
Exactly. So I mean, the lower-end VR system, that's what they replace the computer with your phone.
You just put
your
it
phone
inside,
is powerful enough to do basic VR.
Well, I had the Samsung Gear, right? And the Samsung Gear, it came with my phone because I bought it the day one because my phone was broken. So I was like, I want it. So I got it, and then I put, it came with the VR.
I've never tried one of the lower-end VR. How is that experience?
Lower? Excuse you, sir. This was high-tech at the time that I bought it.
Like 6 years ago.
6 years ago. You know what? It's fun. It's good. But you notice the quality. Because now what we're seeing, everything has, like, even in movies, right? Like, they're just like, oh, you can move around with a controller. You couldn't move around with this. Everything was, like, clickbait.
Yeah, didn't it come with a little control? Like, it's just a button that you had to, like, pretty much use everything for?
And so all the games kind of pandered to that click type thing. Where it's just like, okay, I'm going to go here now. I'm going to go here now. I'm going to go here. Attack this by clicking this.
Were you able to look around in that? Or was it just...
But most games were just...
But it was only looking, right? Like, you could never... I couldn't look closer at something.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think any of the
games. I think that's where, like Oculus and, like, I think that's where you need a computer kind of thing, is to actually, like, be able to lean in and look at stuff.
Right. So here's the thing. Because, obviously, Samsung went through the Samsung store. Explain to me how, then, these are going to work. Do all computer VR headsets run through Steam or other sort of like Uplay store? What do they connect to? How do I get all my games?
It's right now Oculus and Steam sort of work together. They would prefer you use their specific platform. Oculus would prefer you to use the Oculus Home, and Steam would prefer you to use Steam VR. But I have a ton of Steam VR games. It's just when I go into Steam and start it up, it opens up Steam VR in Oculus VR.
Oh, so like Oculus has its own gaming store.
Gaming platform store, yeah. Oh. It has its own VR. It's not very good.
Yeah.
There's never any deal. Like, there's never good deals.
Like Steam sales.
Yes, Steam sales where you're getting a game for, like, 75% off. The best you get on Oculus is, like, 15% off. You get $4 off a $79.99 game. Like, it's not great for that. So that's why I buy most of my games off of Steam.
Right.
Because Steam still does the big sales and stuff, even on VR games, every once in a while.
Okay.
And as long as it works, who cares, right?
Yeah.
I have heard that there was a bit of issue with trying to use the HTC, the Vive, with the Oculus store. But I'm assuming they probably would have fixed that when Oculus went, all right, if you want to use Steam VR, you can use Steam VR.
Right, yeah.
Because then it just looks like Valve or HTC, you're being a dick. Like, why can't I use Oculus? They're letting us, or Oculus users can use Steam, but Vive users can't use Oculus? That doesn't make sense. So I would assume HTC and Vive went, okay, let's just let people play whatever they want.
Okay, what about, though, like, other stores? Do you think they're going to start bringing out games specifically for VR? Like, the Uplay store, Epic Games. Are these other stores going to now have some sort of VR tech come through, right? Like we were talking about Borderlands. Is that going to be on the Epic Games Store as a VR, and you now need to somehow have an Epic Games app on my Quest to play these, or is that only going to go through Steam?
It should be. You should just be able to play, especially the quests and stuff. Yeah. They've made them very intuitive for just. It's its own thing.
Oh, okay.
So it knows what your games, what you have, they're loaded onto it. There is no, like, it's not a PC. I'm not going to start my Steam games. This is literally, it's just going to open up its own UI, and all your loaded games on there will just be up on same thing. Like, you'll have a controller, and you just go through the menu and go, okay, now I want to play this game.
Right.
There isn't going to be any kind of, you have to tie your accounts in. I'm sure there will be, like, initially when you first get in, but then it'll just update to the cloud or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Or you'll have to attach it to a PC or something. Like, there's going to have to be some way to get the games onto the headset, I would assume, right? Yeah. Like, I don't think it's going to be Wi-Fi. I don't think it's going to have Wi-Fi built into it. I would assume you're probably going to plug it into a computer, would you not?
No, I think it would be Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Because this is supposed to be that you are
True, a lot of the games
computerless.
are... Yeah, and a lot of the games are online and stuff. So, yeah, you
Like,
might
that's the
have to
thing.
have-
I would love... Like, again, I would want this
But how does
thing-
that work? Anytime you have something with Wi-Fi... I don't know, I guess that's more... I'm thinking like phones. Like, anytime, if I wanted to do a tablet...
Yeah.
Or no, Wi-Fi would be free, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just you would have to have Wi-Fi wherever you are to play.
This means that... Well, no. Because, like you said, they're installed onto the headset themselves.
So what, the headset is a Wi-Fi hotspot?
Yeah. Like a phone. You can then connect that to a Wi-Fi.
So, but that's what I mean.
and
So, but
download
then you
apps.
would have to pay for that. If you, as soon as you do any kind of like, you turn your Quest into a phone that is taking data, you have to pay for that, right? Like if you get a tablet and you get a SIM card, so I can send text messages or something, you just have to pay for
A
that
SIM
still.
card, yes, but I don't have to pay to put Wi-Fi on my phone. I didn't have to.
No, but you have to be somewhere with Wi-Fi.
Right.
And then if you're using your phone as a Wi-Fi hotspot, you're using 4G. You're using like the cell network,
But I'm saying,
which is what you pay for.
But I'm saying you're only using that though to install the games. You don't need that completely on, because then you can go out into a park and play the games once.
That's
it's
what I mean.
downloaded.
That's what. Yeah. So you
Yeah,
just
yeah.
need to be somewhere with available Wi-Fi.
To
with
download, update,
to update all
whatever.
Yes. That's what I would assume.
And
yeah.
then that's it. All the games. Then again, if you're playing a multiplayer game, you'd have to have Wi-Fi.
You'd have to
on
be
it.
somewhere with Wi-Fi.
But for the
that
games
makes
that are
sense. That's
story-based.
any. I mean, I guess phones you have that, but any tablet or something, you're gonna have to be somewhere with Wi-Fi, unless you want to make your tablet kind of like a phone.
Yeah.
So that you have the 4G network behind it as well.
That's right.
But no, I think it'll be. You're right. It'll have the ability to connect to any Wi-Fi anywhere, the easiest Wi-Fi to update. And then games are good to go.
Yeah.
You'll have a few games, I'm sure, of course, any like shooters and like multiplayer games where you have to be somewhere with Wi-Fi. But that's just, I mean, it feels like every day more and more places have just free Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
So we're going to get to a point in 20 years where it's going to be harder to find a place that doesn't have Wi-Fi than it is to find a place with Wi-Fi.
Well, I'm excited to go into my next McDonald's and be able to play my Quest online games. That's what I'm excited for.
Yeah, like that's what I mean. Like everywhere has them, and even like parks and stuff. I'm pretty sure there's a few parks in Toronto where that have Wi-Fi now.
That I didn't know.
I think so.
That's
Not
pretty
big ones, but like that's everyone wants to do that now. Everybody wants to be able to get onto Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Not have to pay for your 4G access, right? So I could see that becoming a big thing. Definitely, that ability to play anywhere is a huge component of that. Not just being able to play in any room of your house,
Yeah.
but being able to go out and do stuff outside.
I mean, that's pretty good. I'm still excited. Are you going to upgrade yours, or are you safe with what you're going to get? Because we already know I'm going to get one. I think I'm going to get the Quest.
You get the Quest.
I'm
You
absolutely-
have the PSVR.
I have the VR for the PlayStation.
Yeah, and so you want to move on to a different...
Because I hate all the cords that come with it.
Yeah.
If I have to go to my mom's place or my brother's place and I want to play
And that's the thing.
I have to bring everything.
If it's something that you like bringing around and showing people, and it's that being able to the fun of seeing people's reactions in VR for the first time, absolutely go for the Quest.
Yeah.
For me, I want the best of the best kind of thing. I'm one of those people that as much as the Valve one is way too expensive.
Yeah.
There's a part of my back of my brain where like, yeah, but you want that. You want that. It's what you want in a VR. You want the best of the best. So I'm probably going to end up one day upgrading.
All right.
Don't need to, but
No.
I could see it happen because I do. I like being able to. I mean, my computer right now, I can't even play most of my games at max. So I still
bad.
got to update my computer still.
And that's going to cost you more than the VR itself is upgrading a computer.
No, because most of it's mostly upgraded. I need a new graphics card and a new processor,
Wow.
which are the more expensive items. I
Yeah,
understand.
yeah.
It'll be close. Because that's the thing. The VR Valve's Index, they're super expensive. $1,000.
Yeah.
It's $1,000.
I would not.
The Knuckles controllers that it comes with alone are $250. I think I paid $350 for my Oculus Rift. And the Knuckles are $250 by themselves.
Yeah.
Now, the Knuckles, I will say, do sound incredible. I would love to try those things. They do
Okay.
sound much, much better. But $250 worth? That's really expensive.
It really is.
Controllers. But when you read about it, like, do you know anything about the controllers?
No.
The Knuckles?
No,
Yeah, the
I know
Knuckles. Have you
nothing
ever
about them.
have you ever used the Rift, the Rift or the HTC Vive
I think
controllers?
I used the Vive. Yeah, I think I used that one.
You're holding them, right? So
Yeah.
anytime you want to pick something up, you're holding a button,
Right.
all that. The Knuckles it straps into your hand so that you don't grab anything unless you're actually grabbing the controller.
Right.
The point is, it's got, I think they said something like 95 sensors to track your individual finger movement, individual, like everything. It tracks your hand almost perfectly.
Okay.
And then it has the ability to tell how hard you're squeezing, how hard you're pressing buttons, all that kind of for like different tactile stuff in games. But for me, it's the idea that if you've ever tried to throw something in VR,
Right.
it's awful.
Yes, it is.
Because you don't actually know what the release point is because you're releasing your thumb, not your actual hand.
Okay.
This is, I'm picking up a baseball bat in the game. I'm literally, my hand's empty. I reach down, I grab the bar that's between your, like, sitting there. You grab the bar, and then you're actually, now I have something in my hand. I want to throw it. I actually let it go, and because it's strapped into my wrist,
Okay.
in the game it's going to be thrown.
Oh, interesting.
So it's going to, the throwing apparently is almost 1-to-1 because it's tracking everything. You can pick stuff up with your pinky, like you can pick up. They were showing all kinds of stuff, like a guy was picking up baseball bat with like his one finger and like doing all weird stuff, and it's tracking it in game. His hand, it really has the thing.
Yeah.
With what it's, so it is pretty crazy what they're doing. But then again, $250 for just the controllers, or $1,000 for the whole thing. Plus, it's looking for people with high-end computers. So you're looking at another $1,300 for a good enough computer.
That's the problem.
You're looking at $2,500 to play the best of the best VR. But there's an opening for that. Like, there is a niche for that. People do want to spend the money to play the best of the best.
Well, it's the
Why do
PC
we have
people.
$6,000 TVs and stuff? People want to pay money for the best of the best. So I can see it's not going to explode,
Yeah.
but it's definitely going to bring people. It's definitely going to work. I think it'll have its own niche.
I mean, I'm looking at the controllers now. The pricing is $279, and this is on an American website. So
$279 for just the Knuckles, right?
just the Knuckles,
Yeah.
and that's on an American website.
American website. So that's probably
For like
$350, $360 for
for
just
the
so yeah.
controllers themselves.
The whole system is not. It's $9.99 American. That's
That's like what?
Look it up now. Just go $9.99 US to Canadian. I think it would be 13,
Oh, I sure hope not.
12 or $1,300 probably. Because he
You're looking at $1,344.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're looking
I
at
didn't
roughly
even think of
$1,400.
I did not even think of that. The fact that it would be American right
Yep.
now. Yeah. Like you're getting it's that expensive. You're looking at like Samsung flip phone type. That's what I wonder. The Samsung foldable phone that was $2,000. Is that $2,000 American?
That's $2,000 American.
Oh, that's like a $3,000 Canadian phone. Oh my god.
And it's already breaking.
Yeah, and it's already creasing and like
I actually really liked it because I'm more of a practicality type guy, which is why I want the Quest, right?
Yeah.
And to be able to have a phone that goes into my tablet for me is practical.
It was cool. I did
great.
like the idea.
But like, not even 24 hours later, the amount of stuff that was broken on that thing made me go crazy. Because and it was funny.
Which makes me wonder, like those videos they show. Sorry to get off on a tangent, people. But those videos that they show of like, oh, we test them, and you get the robot, you see the line of like 100 phones, and they're just constantly being opened and go, we do 17,000 flips. And so is that a lie?
No, it's 17,000 flips, but it's 17,000 flips in a
Controlled environment.
No dust, no dirt, no grease on your people's hands.
Never dropping it so something might be slightly out of place.
Nothing going in your phone, scratching against your keys.
You didn't sit on it by
That's the thing.
accident. Like
Human beings
bend
are
something.
disgusting.
Yeah,
we are gross.
that's true.
So, like my phone itself, I can have it for a week, and they can say like, oh yeah, we flipped this thing 1,000 times. I can flip it 1,000 times, but there's gonna be like dust and dirt all inside.
Accumulating and yeah.
Right?
Okay, I didn't think of that. That's a good point. Because yeah, that's every time that it was like immediately people were like within a day. It's like how do you do those tests? And then within a day, people were like, yeah, this sucks, you guys.
It was pretty bad.
This is really bad. Because it was very noticeable. Like, it wasn't like, oh, you can sort of see, and you're like squinting and
It's
be
like
like
a bubble.
You
like,
can, you can see the plastic is clearly warped.
Yeah.
Like, how did that not come up? I don't get it. Now Razer's got one that's like the old. Remember Razer phones that were actually like the old 2-piece flip phone? They're doing that, but that's their foldable phone. It's a full to basically take your phone and fold it closed. So it's the size of like a little square. And then you flip it open and it's a regular size phone.
Why?
It kind of interesting, but it's like there's nothing on the outside. There's no screen when it's closed to be like, I just got a quick message. Let me just look. You still have to open the thing up to look at anything. It's like, why not put just so I can see, like, I have one new message, time, anything.
I use my watch for that, my smartwatch. That's what I use that for.
So yeah, if you have a smartwatch.
Awesome. I have a message. All right. I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, okay, we got through the Valve things. You wanted to talk about the Sonic trailer?
Just quickly.
What was okay, so go ahead. Do you have beef with it? What's going on?
Not beef with it. I don't know what this movie's going to be.
It looks like Detective Pikachu, but Sonic. But just not as good.
Yeah, like this is... I read somewhere on... One of the comments I read online, which I thought was completely accurate, was it's either going to be so bad that it's the greatest movie ever, and like it's almost like on purpose they did it this way, or it's going to be pretty bad, but the cringiest thing you're ever going to watch. I'm nervous it's going to be really cringy.
Wait, no one thought it was going to be good? It
No.
went from bad to worse?
Oh yeah, nobody thinks it's going to be good. It's either going to be terrible and amazing because of how terrible it is, and they sort of lean into the hamminess of it, or they're going to try and take it seriously and it's just going to be straight bad. And some of the trailer with Jim Carrey was like, this is old school Jim Carrey, but still late old school Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Where he started to be like, oh, he's losing it a little bit. It seems forced. It's not as fun. It's not, I'm trying to think of his old movie. Like, it's not The
like
Mask, Ace Ventura.
Yeah.
It's more Penguins, Mr. Popper's Penguins or whatever, or...
Well, he was in Kick-Ass too.
He was pretty good.
What did you
at
think
that.
about that?
Yeah, he was pretty good at that.
Oh, okay.
But it's just the trailer got me more with that. Just he's got a funny mustache and he's gonna be a funny weird guy. Like we're just gonna let Jim Carrey be Jim Carrey. Whereas old school Jim Carrey movies, there was a reason for that.
Right.
Ace Ventura, there was a reason for him to be so crazy. Like, the best characters of his were taking his crazy personality and putting it into a story that still sort of makes sense.
Right.
Whereas later on, it just became wacky Jim Carrey. Let's just see what wacky Jim Carrey's up to.
When I watched the trailer, the only thing that I was afraid of was how many plot holes are going to show up for the fact that we have the most fastest character that's supposed to be ever. Because this guy, like in the trailer, he goes supersonic. I'm going to say it. Wink. He goes supersonic and takes out like a tank from Dr. Robotnik's, right? But then in the very beginning of the trailer, though, we have that one cop guy shows up and he's going through Sonic's house.
James Marsden, I think.
Yeah. And he's going through Sonic's house and he goes, "Oh my God, what are you?" And he just goes, "Joke." And then he shoots him with a gun. And then at the end of the trailer, we see Sonic go full Quicksilver.
Yeah,
and
where he's
everything
literally
is
like he's not
slowed
moving
down
Yeah,
to nothing.
he's not moving. Everything else is really slow.
And there's all
though.
these missiles, and it's just like
It's like a Clock Stoppers. You remember that movie, Clock Stoppers?
No, I don't.
Oh,
like,
you remember Clock Stoppers?
I never saw it, but I know. Of
You
the
remember
movie.
Clock Stoppers? That was a terrible movie, but it was so good.
Never saw it.
It was just you hit a button and you were moving so fast that everything else looks like it's going really slow. But you need to be moving fast. I don't get it. That was the Sonic thing. It was like, why is this happening? Like, I guess it's the Flash, as you're moving your molecule.
Right.
But it's just like, this doesn't really make any sense.
But that's the thing, though. If we saw him have all those Chaos
Sonic's
Emeralds,
a fucking hedgehog.
I know very little about Sonic. But if we had all those
I know
Sonic
nothing.
Chaos Emeralds, where he went like Super Saiyan Sonic, and then
Sure.
everything was super slow, I would have been like, I understand.
Yeah, like
why.
that's the big moment. Like
Yeah.
he reached his peak.
Yeah,
of
so
speed.
everything is super
This
slow.
just looked
But
like
he
they
was just
played it
like,
off as a
he was
joke.
like, oh, all right. He's like brushing off his
faggot.
shoulders,
Yeah.
and he's like picking up and playing bongos on them, and I'm just like, wait, why didn't he just do
That's
that
what I
then
mean.
with the
I
gun?
don't- It's either going to be so terrible that it's amazing, or it's going to be, oh, why did you try to make this a legitimate movie? Like, you really need to lean into the schlockiness of, we're making a video game movie here, guys.
Yeah.
They're always bad, so we're going to make it we're going to make it bad on purpose. It's the only way to make a good video game movie.
You say that, but Detective Pikachu's reviews are getting glorious.
Yeah, but what is Detective Pikachu?
It's based off a video game. The Nintendo 3DS game, Detective Pikachu.
There actually is a Detective
There is
Pikachu.
a Detective Pikachu video game.
I thought this was just like a spin-off, like just a joke.
It it is in a sense, but it's still a legitimate video game movie, and it's going to be the first ever good video game movie, which I'm super excited about because it's Pikachu.
But that's what I mean. Is it going to be a good movie, or is it
Yes.
just going to be a? Sorry, no.
You mean like a well done movie?
Yeah, is it a good movie or is it a well done movie? Like, I don't know. Is it going to be good because nostalgia and it's actually done, not bad, but it's still not going to be great. Like, I don't know. I don't have the highest of all. I think it's going to be funny.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be leaning more towards bad. They're leaning into it. They know what. We're not going to take this seriously, you guys. Like, as long as they're not going to take it seriously and it's going to have some, like, big dramatic moments with like Pikachu talking to some Pokemon, and it's this big like. As long as it stays entertaining, then it's fine. Like Jumanji. Jumanji actually was not that bad of a movie because they didn't ever try to take it seriously. The original Jumanji tried to take itself seriously. It was a great movie. That was a good movie.
Do not badmouth
But that's what I'm saying.
now.
If they tried in the new one, think of the new one, how jokey and just straight, let's have fun with this it is.
Yeah.
If they tried to add if they tried to make Jonas, his character, like an emotional core, and he had this big monologue and he was crying and, I haven't seen my family, it would be like, oh, Jesus, what is
Okay.
going on? Come on.
Well,
We're having fun here.
well,
Like,
they
why
play
are
to
you
their
making it
audience,
serious?
right? That's the
Exactly, you're
thing.
playing to the audience. So hopefully Sonic plays to the audience, and it's not trying to play for an audience that it doesn't have.
So wait, who's then the audience for Sonic? Is it young kids that it's like, oh, a very fast blue hedgehog, or is it going to be adults that played Sonic when they were
20,
growing up?
30, 20 to 25 and up, should be playing to. People that actually know Sonic. If you're trying to get kids will not watch this movie.
But
Why do they care? Who is Sonic? I want to play Fortnite. Like, nobody cares.
There's so many Sonic games, though. They all bomb, but there's so many
Exactly.
Sonic
I don't
games
think
that
kids
come out
like
now.
Sonic. I don't think young kids like Sonic. It's just, what's the point? Like, we remember Sonic through nostalgia glasses. Before video games are what they are now, that was, you made a story out of running from the left side of the screen to the right side of the screen. We made all this like, oh, this crazy, and he's fighting you're just running. You're just going from one side of the screen to the other. Like, kids don't care about that anymore.
All right, that's fair.
So I think the idea of trying to play this to anybody under 20 is ridiculous and would bomb.
Okay.
Like, that's where it'll bomb.
What about then Detective Pikachu? Who are they then?
Same thing.
trying
They're
to do?
playing it up for us. It's for our age and older. It's for people that grew up with Pokemon, not for anyone that's a fan of it now. Like a new fan. It's not for new fans. It's for fans that were fans when it came out. Which means you have to be old now.
I think it's for both. It's the same thing where it's like, the adults will watch it, they'll get the jokes.
Yes,
but
okay.
then the kids are going to get
like a
all
Disney
the actual,
Pixar type
exactly,
movie. Yeah.
right?
Where it's for both. I can
Yeah.
see that. Definitely.
Right? Like, even Incredibles 2, I watched it and I was like, oh my
I
god.
actually watched Incredibles 2. Was it good?
It was very well
Because
done.
Incredibles 1 was amazing.
Yeah.
It was a really good movie.
And both of them...
Took me a while to get there because it wasn't your typical kids movie.
That's what I mean.
But then it was like, as the years went on, it was like, this is just a really good movie. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have to be a kid to enjoy this movie. You can totally be an adult and be like, yeah, no, this movie's awesome.
It's got the superhero, colorful fighting and humor, right?
Pixar's really
for
good for
kids.
that.
But then you have like all the actual jokes and nuances and like deep emotional character building for adults.
Yeah.
And I think that's where Pokemon is going to go to, right? Like the whole story is about Detective Pikachu helping this kid find his lost father. right? And Detective Pikachu was supposed to be working with his father. So there's going to be some sort of thing going on there.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
I didn't get to play the game for Detective Pikachu, but I want to. Yeah, for the 3DS. I already said this. And
you did.
I'm excited to actually play it, but from what the stuff that I've read online, you know, and just because I've watched all the trailers, you know, I was like, oh, Tim is the movie. He's also in the game. Like, the character, I don't know if it's the same character, but the name Tim is in both. So I'm just like, okay, maybe it looks like they are just making it into a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, great, fun, awesome, right? Because then you'll have that for both the kids and the adults.
Yeah.
Kids that played it, and then the adults then obviously are just like, I get all the funny jokes.
Yeah.
I'm going to go see it. I already bought my tickets.
For Detective Pikachu, when does it come out? This weekend or next weekend?
Next weekend.
So it's got... Yeah,
comes out next Thursday. Not this Thursday. Next Thursday. So the 7th.
So that'd be the... weird that I'm using this as a thing, but that would be the third weekend of the Endgame?
Sorry, the 9th.
So it'd be the third week... No. Yeah?
Third week.
Yeah, third weekend. Okay,
third
that
week
makes sense.
It's coming out then. I got my midnight showing. Not midnight, because no one was buying the tickets.
That's what I mean. Like, I don't know if it's really going to be that
Thursday
big.
at 8 p.m. tickets.
Yeah, like,
right
I don't know if it's really going to be that big. I think it'll be huge, but I don't think it's going to be gigantic. I don't know.
I think
something about that doesn't...
I think it's going to blow people away. I think it's going to be one of those where it's actually a good movie, so the people that weren't going to go see it will see it.
I mean, if you get 50% of Pokemon fans,
yes,
that's a pretty big number, as we learned from Pokemon Go and stuff. Like, that is a lot of people. If you can hook in a lot of people that are Pokemon fans, you're getting millions of dollars.
Well, that's the thing too. This movie, not panders, but it's for all the generations of Pokemon fans, because it shows all the generations of Pokemon that are in there, right? Obviously,
I thought it was just the first gen.
No, there's all those people that I don't know, I don't recognize, and I'm just like, I've never seen these people before in my life. And it's like, I didn't play Gen 3, 4, 5, 7, whatever we're number on. I played 1 and a little bit of 2. Right?
Yeah, I think the last one that I really cared about were like the gold. I think which was Generation 2.
That's Generation 2, yeah.
Like, I don't think I made it past that gen. I think I've tried like the remakes, but I'm pretty sure it was like Heart Gold and Soul Silver, just the remakes of the old games. Because I don't necessarily care about the newer Pokemon. My connection is from being a kid and playing Pokemon Red and stuff like that.
Is this going to impact Endgame's revenue at all?
It will slightly, but not. Endgame will probably still be number 1 at the box office that weekend, but I don't think it'll be as crazy as it will be this weekend.
Right.
This weekend it's Endgame, and then like number 10 is the next movie.
I know.
Endgame's taking the first top 10 spots for this weekend, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's not losing any steam, but I could see Detective Pikachu being a close second to its the Endgame's first or third weekend kind of thing.
I would love to talk about Endgame, but first, real quick, I know a movie that's coming out that I know is not going to be that, like, there's not going to be many commercials and trailers for it, is the Tolkien.
All Tolkien? Yeah.
Yeah. So that movie, to me, looks really good.
I agree. The only thing that makes me nervous about that is the fact that the Tolkien estate has fully come out and said that they don't really agree with this movie. Like, they don't support it. What's the word I'm thinking of? They don't stand behind it. Like, they don't authorize it. Sorry, it's not a fully authorized by the Tolkien estate film.
Wait, why not?
Because they don't feel that the story is true.
Really?
Yeah. But that, I think, could be most biopics. Because it's being the fact that it's a movie will always take away from the actual realness of it.
Right.
You have to make a compelling. Yes. You have to make a compelling movie.
Yeah.
So I think that's more just them being sticklers and like, we're tired of this kind of thing. But they openly came out and were like, this is not a full, like, an authorized.
We don't endorse this movie.
Yeah. I know but I think they had that same kind of thing with Lord of the Rings.
Oh, really?
When it first came out, I'm pretty sure they were like, "Oh, we don't like this," and we're upset that they're turning these movies into what they are.
Wow.
Where it's like Lord of the Rings are some of the greatest movies of all time.
Yeah.
So they might just be wrong.
Okay,
they could
that's
just
fair.
be, we don't like people using this stuff. This is our grandfather or whatever,
Yeah.
great grandfather. We don't want people disparaging them.
Well, I mean, they're still coming out with books.
Yeah.
I got the new book from Christmas. My brother bought it for me because
There is? What?
Yeah,
How is that?
because like
They have like ghostwriters now?
No, he still had writings, like stuff written
Oh,
down.
so this is unreleased stuff.
Right?
Oh,
But then
okay.
his son went and finished the stuff up and then like released it, right? So it's
Okay.
like there's still
Mostly his, but it's...
yeah. So
yeah.
it's like, I mean, they can say, "Oh, we don't want these movies and we don't want this Tolkien."
I think it'll be
biopic."
interesting. I don't know if it'll do very well.
Oh, I don't think it's going to do very well at all
Yeah.
because Detective Pikachu comes out that week. Avengers is still in thing. Again, there's no trailers
That comes out
for
next
this.
week?
It comes out the same day. Detective Pikachu
That's
and Tolkien comes out the same
yeah,
day.
no, they're screwed.
Yeah.
And I mean, it doesn't look like it's got an exorbitant, like insane budget, but it definitely had a bit of a budget because
It
they're
has budget.
talking about the war and
Yeah.
like, so it's gonna have a bit of a budget to
And
it.
I mean, they also
I don't
have-
think it breaks even.
But I mean, they have the actors for it too. Nicholas Hoult, Lily Collins. You know, Lily Collins is going to be on the rise, in my
She's on the
opinion.
rise, but that's again to be able to break your Ryan Reynolds as Pikachu,
Yeah.
Tony Stark, Captain America. Like it's just that going up against those guys might kill it. I don't know if it'll break even. Like it's gonna be difficult for it to break even. I think.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to go see it. I wanted to go see it midnight launch, but I mean, I already bought my Pikachu tickets, so I can't.
Double feature, baby.
Yeah.
Go to Detective Pikachu at 8:00 and Tolkien at 11.
I got work in the morning. That's not going to be a thing.
What work?
But you know, speaking of killing it, Avengers Endgame.
Oh,
Oh my god! I mean, okay, for anyone that is actually listening, we're going to be talking about spoilers.
yeah. This is
Immediately.
from this moment on. Spoilers for the entire movie.
Yeah, go watch it.
Don't
if you
be
haven't yet.
upset, because that's what this part is.
Yeah,
We're
it's
gonna
going to be
talk
all
about it.
spoilers.
So yeah, what did you think?
Iron Man dies.
Right off the bat.
Right off the bat. So, okay, no. What did I think? I loved it. From the very beginning, because I'm a huge Hawkeye fan.
Yeah.
So to start off with Hawkeye and seeing his arc at the
That
beginning,
was crushing. That was very like
to me,
good
that was
way.
like, oh my god, Hawkeye, and it's great because we saw his family before.
We've seen them before, so
Right,
you
so
do have it. Bring them back in.
It's a nice little back
Yeah.
thing. We don't just be like, oh, who are these people?
Yeah.
So we kind of already have that little.
I also
connection.
have to say, my love for the Russo brothers grows with everything that they touch, because the fact that they use "Dear Mr. Fantasy" as the opening song right after that is such a perfect goddamn pick for that moment. It's just like listening to it in the theater. I had the biggest smile on my face. Wow, what a good choice!
Okay.
I would never have thought of that. But as soon as it started, it was like, this is the perfect song. The whole opening of the song is about everyone's really depressed. Please just make it go away. And then the last line of that particular thing is them talking about, and make it snappy. You got to make it like, come on, let's do this. Play guitar, sing a song, make it snappy.
Right,
It was
right,
like,
right,
this is amazing. You guys are geniuses. I love those two. The music choices in these last few movies have been incredible. It's like, I don't know if it's James Gunn, because I know James Gunn did a lot in Infinity War. He helped with all that, like the rubber band.
Right.
All that was him, so I don't know if he had a bit of flavor in there as well. But their music choices are amazing. It adds so much. Off little tangent. Anyway.
Two heads are better than one in this case. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess that'd be the main takeaway for that.
I will say though, I didn't love it.
What?
Yeah.
Why not? What's going on?
I don't know. I don't know how to put it into words.
Is it too long?
No. I think my problem is I read too much about it.
Why did you read anything
Yeah,
at all?
and this coming from, and this is a perfect time to talk about it because I know you're one that you read nothing.
I was
you
off
barely
social
watch,
media
Yeah, you
for
barely watch
48
trailers.
hours,
Right?
I couldn't get. No, I didn't watch any trailers.
Exactly,
I
like-
couldn't get midnight tickets. I had to wait till Saturday to find good seat ones.
Mm.
So I was off of the social media and Google for 48 hours.
Yeah. See, I wasn't looking for spoilers, but for me, it was the lead up. It was just not talking, but reading up about all the people's like theories and how we're gonna do this, and I think ruined it for me because I kind of knew the time travel stuff.
Oh,
Like
really?
I knew that was gonna be it. Like that was one of the big theories. I mean, not even a theory. They talk about at the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp. She specifically says, "Don't fall into a time vortex," and that was pretty sure the last movie before.
Yep.
Or no, I guess Captain Marvel. But it was one of those like everybody had kind of been digging around and trying to figure out what that was. So I read up all about how like, oh, we're probably going back, and then there was set photos of them being in New York for the fight. So it was one of those like, okay, they're probably going back in time and they're going to go to different. I kind of knew about all this stuff, so it wasn't what I was anticipating.
Oh.
And it kind of threw me off. I don't know. I think I ruined it for myself. It's a great movie. I think it is a good movie. I think I just ruined it for myself. Because I made my expectations way too high.
I think that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
And that happens every time, right? And that's the whole thing about the internet, too, is people make all these theories and they talk about it so much, and then when they finally watch it, they go, oh, I don't like it.
To throw this right back in your face, Last Jedi had that, absolutely. There was all this, like, the blow up of, like, oh, it's going to be this, and he's going to train Rey, and Luke's going to be the greatest. And then the movie comes out and he throws the lightsaber and everyone's, this is the worst movie ever. This is not. That was kind of what I had with this one. It was
okay.
I had that exact thing of like, oh, that's not what I was expecting.
Wait, how's that throwing it into my face?
I don't know, just because you don't like Last Jedi.
And I hate Last Jedi. It's one of the worst movies
in your face
ever.
So I think that's why. I think because I had been building up expectations, as opposed to just going, I want to see how this ends, and that's why I think I didn't like it as much. Which is not a great argument, because I still think it is a great movie. So it's not a great argument to be like, well, I thought it was going to be this, and it wasn't. Well, fuck you. Sorry.
All right, so wait, then from all the stuff then that you were reading and your theories, what did you want to happen?
I don't know. I just thought the time travel aspect was going to be cooler.
What?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I didn't think that was necessarily the best use of the, like, there was so much more I feel like they could have gone for with that. I thought
I'm gonna need you to explain.
That's what I mean. I don't know how to explain it. That's why it's weird. I would have liked something else in New York when they were fighting in the, like, it would have been nice to see a moment from that other than just the circle of the actual Avengers. Like, I wanted them to play with the old movies more.
Well, I mean,
as opposed to just setting it up and then going, okay, here's the new shit.
They did, though, right? Like, the whole afterwards thing, and then it's like, no, Hulk, you have to take the stairs. And he's like, oh, Hulk hates stairs. And he took the stairs, and then, like, downstairs, the guy was trying to take the Tesseract cube, the Hydra guy.
Yeah.
And then they're doing all that. And it's like,
I like that, but that's what I mean.
arrest.
Like, I feel like we could have had, there was more. When they were in, when they had to go back again to not the 70s, when Stark and Cap had to go. I thought that you could have seen Baron Zemo, or not, was it Zemo? The crazy Hydra guy who turned himself into a computer.
Oh,
in Winter Soldier and stuff. Like, he was the head of Hydra and basically the brains behind it all.
I mean,
I thought we were going to have a lot more cameos of characters. The people we got were great. I was shocked to see Robert Redford. Didn't expect that at all.
Yeah.
But I was expecting to see other people. I was expecting to see maybe Peggy's daughter, Sharon Carter,
right.
or like, just there's a few different times where I thought there could have been something. When he goes to Thor: The Dark World, where Thor goes, thought you probably were going to see Odin maybe or something. I liked the conversation with him and his mom, and I liked that whole thing. But I would have liked more. We went back to New York and did a kind of, here's what you saw in those movies. Now we're going to do something else with it. But it felt like when we went to Thor's world, it was just it was a new scene. We went to the 1970s. It was just a new scene. Like, I would have liked something more, some way for them to have tied it back into stuff that we knew more.
Oh,
like when Tony and Cap go back to the army base, there was no connection to that. There was no like, oh, we're back here. Like, it kind of felt.
But weren't we? Like, that
I guess you were back at
that was supposed to be
Cap's,
Winter Soldier.
Yeah, but
right?
Did you get that? Like, I didn't get it. They looked totally different, other than the bunker, the
Yeah.
one little bunker. But it didn't look at all like Cap's original, like where you saw him in First Avenger.
Right.
Didn't really remind me of that at all. Like, I don't know. I wanted more moments of like, oh, I remember that. Like, more connections to old stuff. That
But
seemed like
I
what they were
don't
going
think
for.
that was for Cap though. That was for Tony.
It was Tony.
And
That
that
was
was for Hank.
And it was to give Tony, like, you're trying to complete, he's going to die.
Yeah.
So they had to complete his arc. He's got kids, and now he's going back and talking to his dad.
Yeah.
And changing his idea of his dad, basically, before he died.
Yeah.
I did like all that. I don't know. I would have liked to have seen more moments connect, like when Tony flies into the thing, and he's watching them all wrapping up in the Avengers Tower, and you're seeing Loki. Like, I would have liked more moments of that throughout the time travel stuff. It felt like they did all that in the Avengers Tower, and then the rest of the running around wasn't as.
But I mean, none of them were there during the 70s. They knew
True.
They knew it was there during the 70s. Like, I get it. Maybe if they put Nick Fury there in that position with Goose from Captain Marvel, it would have been like a little like, oh, that's funny type thing.
Yeah.
But again, that was one of the ones there was the driver, Jarvis. He was Jarvis from Agent Carter.
Okay.
Right? That was, to me, that was a link. And I was
Okay.
talking to my buddy about it, and he didn't watch Agent Carter. He didn't know that. And I'm just like, see, to me, that was nice because I saw Agent Carter, and I was upset that there wasn't any more. They canceled that show. So to see the actor that portrayed the driver of Jarvis to actually still be there, I was like, that was, to me, was beautiful. Like, that was a good, nice closure.
It definitely was. I don't know. There was just, like I say, I was expecting, not necessarily that it would have been better.
Right.
I was expecting, so
I
I was sort of taken aback when it wasn't what I was expecting.
Yeah.
That's why. So I still think it was a great movie. I was expecting more. I was expecting more cool moments of tying back to the old movies.
Oh,
I felt like they did that a lot in Avengers Tower. The Hail Hydra moment was awesome.
That was probably
the whole Avengers Tower sequence was really funny.
Yeah,
really great, really cool, smart. But I didn't think in Thor when they were back on Asgard, I didn't think that was anything that was making you go like, remember. I guess Thor's movies haven't been that great. And then I guess it was funny seeing Quill dancing around and you're realizing that he was singing to nobody. Like,
yeah.
I liked that little juxtaposition there, but I felt like it could have been more. Where was it would have been nice to see like Digimon Hanzo's character come back, or Ronin or somebody. Like, there was moments where they could have had cool characters come back. Right. I liked when they did that in Infinity War, like when we got Red Skull come back. Like, I was hoping for more of those moments where I forgot about him. Like, cool, he's back.
Right,
I liked that moment. I thought there was going to be a few more of those. Like I say, with seeing somebody from Hydra, even seeing Red Skull before he was Red Skull. Like, seeing him as Agent Smith. I can't remember what his name is. Like, I just would have liked those moments to be.
But that was
there.
World War II, though.
Yeah.
Right? Like, he was gone.
He would have been gone by then.
He would have been gone by then.
Yeah.
And, like, I get it, right? Like, there's a lot to go over, especially in a 3-hour film, because everybody needs to kind of have an arc in this that's for the Avengers. Because for a lot of these characters and their contracts, it's over.
Yeah.
Right?
Totally.
So, like, Captain America has to have a big final finisher. Iron Man has to have a big final finisher.
I was saying this. Let me throw this to you. I posited this as something no time soon. This is not something they would do anytime soon. This would be like 10 years down the line when they're doing the next Endgame. Like, we've built this up. Could you, the way that they wrote this movie, could you potentially have they left the door open to bring Cap back, and you do what they did to Scott when they were trying to make the time vortex work and they kept bringing him back as different ages? Could you do that to Captain America to de-age him back to Chris Evans' years? So that you have a big, like, there's nobody left. America. Like, there's nobody left. What are we going to do? And then you have old man Rogers walking in, and it's like, it's time to come out of retirement. Like, I felt like they kind of left that open, but at the same time, I also don't think they were thinking of that.
No.
But I feel like with that, it was like, you could totally do that. But my cousin, like I was talking to my cousin about it, he was like, "No, it was a beautiful ending for Cap. Just let him rest. He's lived his life." I was like, "Yeah, that's what that was supposed to be." But I feel like it won't be the Russos again. Like they're not going to be directing.
Absolutely.
So I can see a lesser team being like, we can probably write Cap back in. I actually wouldn't mind seeing it because Chris Evans is a great Captain America.
He was also a great old man Captain America.
Yeah, like I wasn't expecting that. Like it was. I don't know. I think that'd be an interesting little.
Old man Cap going back, I would like that. Though for them to like go back in time and get Captain America back, I would not like.
No, I wouldn't like to do that. Yeah. It would be more doing the. We have the ability. We it's random. We might have to do it a couple times. You get the joke of he's even older. Yeah, he's a baby. Like, hey, he's dead. You killed him. You can do all those jokes and everything, but I feel like you kind of left the door open for.
That's true.
We need Cap back.
Yeah.
He's 100 years old. Well, let's go. Come on, let's get it done.
The only thing I didn't like about the Avengers movie in its entirety, was Hulk.
Yeah, very disappointed. They totally set that up in Infinity War that he was going to have a big rage fight with Thanos again. And he did nothing. I liked that reveal, the Professor Hulk reveal. Like, that was funny. But it neutered that character. Like, it just became... He's just a smart, gigantic guy that doesn't like fighting, though.
But that's the thing. I just don't like who he became.
Yeah, like, why become Hulk, then, if you're never going to be a big, angry fighter?
Personality-wise, he became like a bully. Right? Like, he's always talking about, like, okay, short person... And he's just like, he's like, oh, come on.
He became like a bro. He became a big green bro.
Yeah. He's like, because he was one of those, like, weak person that became super strong, kind of like Captain America, but Captain America...
He became a bit of a... Captain America was...
He was good. Then he became
Hulk,
better.
He became a bit of a dick with it. I can see that. I definitely...
Right?
It was weird. Like, I thought that was weird. Like, why? What was the point of that?
Well, apparently that was in the comic books, too.
Yes, Professor Hulk is a comic book character, I've heard. Yes.
He's made that connection, and so they just wanted to...
But I felt like if you were going to have... There was still going to be the opening for him to be like, all right, Hulk, it's your turn. Like, we got to get angry here. It's your turn. And now we're getting more regular Hulk. He was going to rip out of this thing, and he still has... But it's in that New York scene, it was like, like he's not angry at all anymore.
Well, because
what's
Bruce
the point
Banner
of being
is not
big
angry?
But what's the point of being big and green then?
Is to have, I think, that capability. Well, I think it's so that he doesn't accidentally turn into the Hulk.
Yeah,
that was always the thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, he always had to live.
Just feels like like it felt like I still want the ability to snap into angry Hulk, who is nigh unbeatable, kind of thing. Now it just seems like your Banner. Who just big green Banner.
Yeah.
Like, you're not actually the Hulk anymore. You're just big green Banner.
Which would have been a lot better, though, is, again, I'm not saying how to do this movie better, but which would have been nice, though, then for that Bruce Banner arc, or sort of Hulk arc, is then at the beginning, when they go to Thanos on his farm, the Hulk, comes out and then starts to beat up Thanos. And then Thanos, though, as he's weak, Hulk goes like,
realizes why. Why am I doing this?
Like, this is
He's
puppy.
not fighting back.
I'm literally beating a puppy.
I feel bad. Yeah. I'm beating up somebody who's not fighting.
Yeah.
I want to beat up somebody who's fighting back. Yeah. He's not fighting back.
So he finds out that the strongest guy who beat him is now useless.
That felt like a very just throw that thread away. I will agree with you on that. It was just we had a thread that we could easily tie into. Hulk needs a rematch with Thing.
Yeah.
Let's just it just felt weird.
Yeah.
That it was just gone. I mean, that even might be a bit of my problem. I saw it coming, too. I think we had a conversation before Endgame came out that they're probably going to kill Thanos in the first 10 to 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I said that. I think that threw me off when it did happen because you lost the stakes.
Yeah.
What was... I guess that's why you had, like, Clinton and her, they were laughing when they were flying through because there was no, like... We're not going to fight Thanos. We're just going to try and fix everything. There was never an idea that we're going to have to eventually kill Thanos now.
Right.
This was just, there's no Thanos. Let's just get the stones and fix this.
Yeah.
Fuck it, he's gone. So it felt weird. There was like, where's the stakes here? And then introducing old, like, past Thanos, there was no weight to him anymore.
Well,
I didn't find any weight to him when he was doing the sitting waiting for the Avengers. It should have harkened back to Infinity War Thanos. But it was like, I don't know who this guy is. Like, it's a completely different timeline. We've talked about this now. Going back in time changes. Like, it's just a new timeline. There's no changing the past. Right. That is a different Thanos. That's not our Thanos.
Well,
you can see that in Nebula, where in Nebula's timeline, she does turn. But then when he was like, you're a traitor, she freaks out because it's, how am I a traitor? Like, what? I can't be a traitor.
No. It was that because of the future interference with the past, right? That is what triggers everything, obviously, right?
Yeah.
When it comes to time travel. So when it goes for Thanos, he's super smart guy.
Yeah.
So he watches all of Infinity War, and then he goes, oh, okay. And then he's like, so we're in this.
No. He doesn't watch. He hears about it.
Well, yeah, from Nebula.
He knows
Nebula,
through Nebula's thing. He sees that it happens.
All of Infinity War. And you watch all of those 5 years, because remember,
he realizes, that he can't just do that.
Right.
That doesn't work.
Yeah.
They're gonna find me, kill me, and undo it.
Well, no.
So I have to do it even more. Like, I have to break this whole thing apart completely.
But that's not his issue, though. His issue is that it's a world that is ungrateful for what he did, and that they're not rising as if he thought they were. That was his problem.
Well, it's because as long as there are people that know, that's what he said, remember what happened, there will always be those who try to stop it or to reverse it. That's why he wants to break it down so that there's nobody that knows that there ever was a universe before that. He wants to make it start again, basically. He wants to do a new Big Bang and be God.
No.
I thought.
He wants to start again.
Where there's nobody.
No, so
it's not like I snapped and. No, I think he wants a new universe that nobody knows that he's the creator. There is no idea. It's so that it's just you wake up one day and it's, how did we get here? Oh, this is amazing. We have life. You have no idea that you were snapped out of existence.
But with half the people. That's the thing. Is he understood that Earth is not thriving as it should because people remember what happened.
And they're trying to stop it.
No. And they can't live their lives because half the people they loved are gone. So they're all in misery and despair. And he sees that. And so he goes, I get it now. These people are sad and they don't understand what I did for them was good. So they're now not living their lives to the fullest. What I'm going to do is then snap, erase the world, start anew, right? Where the people don't know that half the people are gone. That was what he wanted to do.
But I don't think it would be half the people are gone. I think everybody's gone. And he creates new people.
I don't
he creates a new universe.
It could be.
That's what it sounded like. At one point in the movie, he says, "I'm going to break this universe down to its smallest atom and rebuild."
Yeah, because then no one would be around to remember.
Okay, because they're all gone. We're rebuilt.
Exactly.
Like it's a rebuilt.
Exactly.
There 100% people have been snapped, and we're making a new world. As opposed to trying to do. You guys should be grateful for now. You have all this resources. You guys should just be grateful because you're alive.
But he's still going to start with half the people.
I know that's not how I could pull
because his whole thing was at first was the resources, right? So if he brings everybody back, then the resources is still a problem.
Yeah, it's going to be less people. But I don't think you and I don't exist in Thanos' new world.
I mean, you don't. I survived the snap.
No, fuck you. We're 100% getting dusted. I think the whole universe gets dusted in new Thanos' new plan.
We 100% get dusted, but then half the people come back.
I don't think so.
With a brand new mind from the Mind Zone that they don't remember. Then again, I mean, he could have just changed people's minds to not remember.
Yeah, I mean, once you really start looking into it, he's got the ability to do basically anything. So you have to kind of put limitations on it.
Another thing, though, I didn't like about Avengers, I know I said I loved it, but another thing, though, Captain Marvel was barely in that movie.
Weird! Was not, but I liked that.
But you know why I think it is?
Because it was very unexpected.
I think, though, it's the same as Infinity War with Black Panther. Was the movie came out so close to the
when
next one,
they didn't know if he was going to be super popular.
And Black Panther did amazing. Everyone loved that film. And if they reshot it, they probably would have put him more in Infinity War as more of a bigger side character. He's still going to get snapped, but a bigger side character.
I think the Russos they said it originally. Like, it was, this isn't her movie. This isn't
And she's
new.
the poster
This isn't
girl.
anybody that's new Avenger. This
Right.
isn't a new Avenger movie. This is Thor, Captain America, Iron Man, Black Widow, Hawkeye, Hulk. That's their movie.
Yes.
That's their movie. And it's great that we're going to have the big, which I agree is one of the greatest fight scenes in the history
I
of
tear
movies.
up every time.
It's incredible.
It's great.
It's you can't have that. Like, it's not about them.
No.
So it's great that we can have that, but the emotional core of the movie has to be with our main 5 or 6 people.
You're right. And also to aid your...
So I like that, because my fear the whole time was, is she just going to come in and wreck shit? Like, is she just going to come in and, at the very end, like she kind of did, and
Destroy
like
the whole
punch through his
battle
face?
cruiser is
Yeah, like that
gone.
was a great shot. It was one of those, like, they're really setting this up for her to just come down and, like, punch Thanos' heart out and be like, all right, we won. Like, she's really that strong.
We have to
So I
admit, though...
did actually like them being like, you know what? She's not important for
We have
this
to admit,
movie.
though, that headbutt from Thanos
That was
into her,
great.
and she just stands
That was
there. It's
great.
like, oh, God.
That was
His
great.
face literally of, like, I shit myself.
The only thing with that, though, is it was very similar to her moment with Marvette, or whatever, or Jude Law's character
Yeah.
in her movie, where he punched her and she didn't do anything. Like, it was just... and then she punches him. Like, it was the exact same moment.
But again...
And again, it was only like a month ago that Captain Marvel came
But
out.
because that's who Captain Marvel is.
True.
She's
Yeah.
ensemble. She is, I think, going to be the lead for the next
she's the new
phase.
Captain Marvel, or Captain America.
She is the new Captain
She
Marvel.
is the Captain Marvel.
But that's the
Yeah,
thing,
she's
though.
the new Captain America.
It starts off with her. We see her. It's great. Nice long hair. And then, we cut 5 years later, and she's on a
That was-
computer hologram.
yeah.
And she's just like,
When she
I have
said
stuff to do. And
yeah,
it's like, ugh.
you're not gonna see me for a few years.
Yeah.
and it was like,
oh.
whoa, are they really not gonna have her in the movie at all? And it makes sense though, because as us, like, humans, as just us scrawny humans, we're like, it's Earth, you have to save us. But it is in her mind. There's millions of planets in the universe.
Yeah.
They've all lost half of their. For most of those planets, they've never heard of things. They don't know why this happened.
Yeah.
So not only is this crazy that it's happened, you don't know if it's gonna happen. Like, it's more. She's gonna be a peacekeeper almost.
Well, she's
to be like, this is what happened. We're trying to fix. Like, we're working on it. But, like, don't worry, it's not gonna happen again. You're not gonna lose another half of your. Like, think of all the work that she would have to do.
But she even says it at one point in time. I forget where, but she says it. It's like they're like, where have you been this whole time? And she like, we've had all these problems. And they're like,
And
there's planets out there that don't have people
don't
like you.
have you guys. I love that line.
Yeah.
It's like, that's really smart. As much as comic book nerds are gonna
Yeah.
be, oh, it's just your way of writing her so that she's not in the movie. No, that's actually a very smart
true.
response.
It's
And
true.
it just shows you how shitty human beings are.
Yeah.
That we as viewers are like, but she should be focused on Earth.
Yeah.
No, we're talking about the fact that there's millions of planets and trillions and bazillions of
Yeah.
people out there, but you want her to focus on just us?
Yeah.
Like, what?
Which is why Nick Fury never called her in at any of those other moments.
Yeah.
Is he made a different team, an Earth team.
Yeah,
right?
I've got my planet
Yeah.
to deal with. Like, I can save my planet with
Yeah.
these people.
She's technically Green Lantern.
I'm assuming, is the like, what do you call it? The birth of the Avengers Initiative.
She is.
Would be from her.
She's Carol.
He left, and
she's
she
Carol
left,
Avenger
and went.
Danvers.
We do have them.
Yeah.
Like, we do have her. If there's any, like, something nuts.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of bad shit in the world. I kind of need my own people. And then there would have been the creating of S.H.I.E.L.D. Let's see if there's people like that already here on Earth.
Right.
Where you would find Tony Stark. You would find
Well, they're
all
already
that stuff.
they're already,
Captain America, I guess, would have been a super soldier around that.
They were already with Shield, right?
Yeah.
Coulson and Nick Fury are already on the same team, but at the end of the movie, we see him pick up that photo and it says Carol Avenger Danvers, and
Yes,
so he types
that's
it
true.
in, right? He's not the head of Shield yet, so he can't make those, like Avenger Initiative. He can't do that, but he can type it all up and be like,
Make a
"This
plan.
is what I
This
want
is
to
my
do."
proposal.
Yeah. And then he doesn't obviously get those people until Captain America shows up.
So
And he's
yeah, I
like,
definitely
"No."
like that they didn't go. We need her to be a big bad or a big like badass in this
Yeah.
movie because it is. That's you. The next 22 movies, you're gonna do that. Like that's gonna be you in the next few movies. Anytime anything crazy is gonna happen, it's gonna be Captain Marvel. It's gonna come in and do that. So we don't need that here.
Yeah.
So I did like that. I like that restraint on their behalf to be like, you know what, she's a side character for this movie. She's not that important.
Yeah, and that's the great thing too is when you're talking about Captain Marvel, it's like, oh, Spider-Man is dealing with something big on Earth, but it's just like she is like light years away. For her to get back to where we are,
A long time.
like that's why I'm surprised she got back to Earth so quickly, and I don't know who called her in, but she somehow got from
For me,
wherever.
how
to
did
there.
she? I knew this was gonna be it, but I don't. Still, they didn't really explain any reason for why she was able to find Tony Stark in the middle of space. Was there a reason for that?
Oh.
There was. She just appeared. Like as soon as he was lying there, and they had that long shot of Robert Downey Jr. sitting in the seat,
Okay.
and it was getting brighter. It was like it's Captain Marvel. Like you know that has to be Captain Marvel. But then I just started to think about it now. They never at any point were like, we put a distress beacon out.
Did they not? Like maybe
No.
we
Yeah, like I'm gonna have to rewatch. But
Yeah.
I don't think there was even a line that was like, our food and water ran out, or it will run out in 48 hours.
Yeah.
We've got a distress beacon up, but we're in the middle of nowhere, so I don't know if it's any good.
Yeah.
I don't think there was anything to establish. I think she just found them in space.
That's fair.
But it's like, but wait, how? How does
Because
she
like
know?
no one on Earth knew where Titan was, where they were.
Yeah.
So yeah, who could call?
Although I guess she'd be flying. Yeah, like I don't get it. Like space is gigantic.
Yeah.
How are you able to find that one tiny ship in space?
Well, that's the thing. Remember, this is the one thing though I didn't like about the Captain Marvel setup to Endgame was we saw all of her stuff in like post-credit scenes. So it's like her show up in the Avengers like location,
Yeah.
and she goes, "Where's Nick Fury?" And it's like, "Oh, okay." And then it's like that's not in the movie. So it's like all that stuff kind of happens. We kind of have to watch the post-credit scenes to kind of
Yeah.
put like puzzle pieces together.
Yeah.
So maybe she came back and then Thor was just like, they flew off for whatever. And then she goes, I know where Titan is. And then she went off to Titan and then she found them that way, right? Like
Yeah, flew
she-
to Titan, realized they're not there, everyone's
Yeah.
gone, a big battle, like a moon was dropped.
Yeah.
I wonder where, and then we started flying back and found them.
Yeah, and like flew around. right?
Totally.
Like there's possible reasons.
But yeah,
for
I
why
found
they
that
did
was
it.
one thing, and thinking about it, it's like, where did that come from? Where did she
Yeah.
come from? She just appeared. Which, I mean, again, watching the trailers and stuff, like that's what I mean with being a little underwhelmed. You knew that the first 20 minutes of the movie were the trailers and everything. So that whole sequence of the trailers kind of played up like Tony's gonna die in space. Like,
Yeah.
whoa, is he gonna make it home? I mean, I guess there was never really a thought of they're really gonna kill him from just like air loss.
Yeah,
he's gonna
that's
be
true.
Tony Stark is lost in space. That's the end of his arc. He doesn't have anything to do with Endgame.
That's the second movie.
He died in the first 15 minutes. It makes sense, but it was just I don't know. There should have been more to it.
Yeah.
It feels like
I
anyways.
get that. I mean, that's the thing. Again, I didn't watch the trailers.
Yeah.
So
It all happened so fast.
I already knew that obviously the only way he was going to get out of that was Captain Marvel, right? I knew that just for the sake of knowing how movies work.
Well,
But-
I guess it was the way the trailers are portrayed. Like if you go back and watch, it looks like as much as they say this is the first 20 minutes of the movie, it felt like the trailer did show a lot of time going by. Like it did feel like you were watching this is the story of the movie.
Right.
So then when you're watching the movie and he's lying in the chair, bright lights, looks out, it's Captain Marvel, and then it's cut to America shaving his beard, the thing's shaking, and she's flying the ship in. It's like, oh, geez, that was really quick. Like,
Yeah.
there was nothing, there was no, like, flying back, Tony and her, who are you? Why are we doing... There was none of that. That was all implied that it happened off screen kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So it all felt very fast. Like, all the stakes that they set up in the trailers and stuff all happened so fast. But it is one of those, they were kind of telling you that when they said the first 20, we're not spoiling anything past the first 20 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Like that really, they were trying to tell you, like, yes, there are stakes here in this trailer. Like you're seeing the Tony Stark look like he's about to die. But remember, it's the first 20 minutes.
Okay.
Do you really think Iron Man dies in the first 20
Yeah.
minutes? Come on, guys. We've been telling you this is the original Avengers movie.
Yeah.
Do you really think the most popular Avenger we're killing in the first 10 minutes? With no kind of, like, actual big sack, like any kind of justifiable ending. It's
Right.
just we ran out of food and water. I died in space.
Where do you think they're going to go from here?
I don't know.
I mean, they have X-Men now.
I think it'll
Fantastic
take.
Four.
We've got characters right now like Captain Marvel, like Spider-Man, Doctor Strange that we do need to see more from, and then that brings us into introducing X-Men, introducing Fantastic Four, and then I think you start thinking about your next gigantic work your way into Avengers type thing. I don't think you're getting an Avengers movie for probably 6-7 years.
Yeah, no.
Like this will be the last Avengers for a while, and that makes sense because you need to now readjust and reset the stakes for each Avengers movie, right? So I think you're gonna get all your Black Panther 2, Spider-Man 3, Captain Marvel 2.
Well, they got Doctor Strange 2 coming out
Doctor
as
Strange
well.
2, Guardians 3. You're getting all those movies, and then you're gonna get the introduction of X-Men and Fantastic Four, which will bring in some way that I would assume will bring in the new big bad, whether that be Doctor Doom from Fantastic Four, which I've heard is
would love that.
incredible villain in comic books. Like he's up there with Thanos, is what I've heard as like one of the most memorable ones.
And one
or
of
it
the
could be
most,
Galactus.
ruthless,
Like it could be. I could see him being the new like Thanos, Doctor Doom, and then you're getting little things like Avengers have to fight Galactus or whatever.
Right.
So you're getting almost slightly different big bads leading up to Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
And then you have a way to find out that Doom is the one behind it all or something. But I think they'll take a bit of time off, introduce new characters, and then within that introduction there'll be something that happens that's introduced that sets off a new crazy thing. Whether it be like I don't know comics that much, right? So I only know when I'm reading about these things where people are like, oh, they could do this. Like I've heard Secret Wars thrown around.
Yeah.
That's a big comic book thread that people are like, that could be the next big thing, which I think is something like this. I think it's the Skrulls are replacing superheroes or something.
Skrulls. But again, you have to think like now we have to do everything though without Captain America and without Iron Man. And I'm pretty sure they were in the Secret Wars and they were in all this other stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not going to be exactly the same, right? Like we're going to have to adapt. So yeah, I think it'll be a while before we get any. I think they've learned from Thor and Spider-Man that audiences really like seeing more than just Spider-Man. I want to see Spider-Man with Nick Fury. I want to see Thor with Hulk. I think that we're getting Thor with the Guardians of the Galaxy. Like that should be Guardians 3. And at first I thought like it's not going to be. Like they have Guardians 3. That's not going to be it. But it totally makes sense because Guardians 2 at the end they hinted about Adam Warlock.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure Adam Warlock is a super powerful, super
He was supposed
guy.
to be with the Infinity Stones. So
Yeah,
that's
so it's one of those Guardians aren't superheroes.
Mm-hmm.
They're still just a really badass team. So now there's a power balance there. Now you have Thor to go up against a fat Thor to go up against Adam Warlock. That actually makes more sense now. So I think you're gonna get that too. I think we'll get a Captain Marvel, maybe not a Captain Marvel, but you'll get maybe Captain Marvel and Doctor Strange or something like that. I want to see team up movies more than just individual movies, and then everybody comes together. I want to see different combinations of people. Spider-Man and Tony Stark in Homecoming. That was awesome. I was so like, this is not your standard Spider-Man movie because you have another character to work with.
But they were setting up that whole Tony Stark and Iron Man as, of course, that father-son arc.
Yeah.
Right? Where we saw Spider-Man cry.
But Thor and Hulk have become really close buddies.
They were buddies, though. You can't put them towards Iron Man and Spider-Man.
No.
Spider-Man, when Iron Man was dying there, Spider-Man was like bawling, right?
Yeah.
When he comes out and Iron Man sees him, he hugs him. He's like, oh, this is nice, right? Like, all that stuff. And that's the thing. In a smaller scale, though, I'm super excited to see Spider-Man 2 because Iron Man is not going to be there.
Yeah, and it actually, watching Endgame actually sort of makes that trailer make sense now.
Yeah.
Because everyone was like, oh, okay, I don't care that they ruined that Spider-Man came back. We
all knew
Give
it.
me a break if you really thought they were leaving those guys undusted. You knew there was a reverse snap happening. Even if you never read a single shred or any kind of theory, anything, you knew they were coming back. That's just
Absolutely.
It's just movies.
Yeah.
You're not three of your most profitable characters. You're just gonna let them dust and just go, okay, we're okay. Well, the Russos really wanted to do it, so we have to lose out on the potential for like $3 billion in sequel money. It was never gonna happen. Like that was never gonna happen.
I mean, I'm very excited for the next phase, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
I'm
hoping that they do some more team up stuff.
Yeah.
I would like to see
I think that'll be the next one. Like, as you said, Ask Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. But I wouldn't mind seeing Doctor Strange 2 first.
Oh, yeah.
And then give me Doctor Strange 3 with him with somebody.
Yeah.
Give me like a Civil War of him with, but not Civil War, obviously. But give me that kind of team up movie as well. But yeah, I want to see a second movie where we get to flesh out Captain Marvel's character a bit more before you just throw them in with everybody else.
Right.
That's why I thought Thor Ragnarok was so well done. Was because they did the first movies, they set it up, they came around to the fact that people aren't digging this. People aren't digging the Shakespearean Thor as much as we thought that was going to be. Like, that's Thor, going very old school with it. Let's try something else. Let's try and loosen it up a little bit. And then Thor Ragnarok came out, and you have him with Hulk, and it's like, this movie's fucking great. This is hilarious. This is not at all what I was expecting out of it. So it'd be nice to get that from a Doctor Strange or even Black Panther. Like, put Black Panther, get him in with... Who could he go up with?
Anyone. I mean, they all know each other.
Actually, yeah. I mean, for the easiest one, do a Black Panther and Winter Soldier movie.
Yeah, but he has his own Disney Plus channel with Falcon.
Oh, those two are doing a movie?
No, they're doing a TV show.
The show, yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, I think we kind of covered everything.
Yeah.
In a little bit more detail. I mean, there was a lot of stuff we didn't touch on. Thanks everybody for catching us on here on our second ever podcast.
Yeah. Hopefully, one day somebody will listen to this.
You keep saying that. I'm sure they are. Aren't?
Yeah. No, I'm just a dick.
Thanks so much, guys. Have a great one.
You too.